All right, so we've gone through almost the entire course or training module here. So we've learned to work with our custom avatars and personalize the experience. We're tracking our modules, which we're going to complete that here. And we've gone through module 1. We marked that complete. Module 2 will mark that complete. Module 3 will mark that complete. That should allow us to get all the way through here. The one thing we want to do is we want to create this suitcase where we're starting to track everything, and then we'll do our exit slide. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what we have. We want to make sure there's a trigger for module 1 to be complete, and we can see set module 1 complete to true when the progress meter changes. So we've completed everything, that'll work. So that's working for there. Module 2, when are we going to set module 2 complete? We go to the great job layer. Let's see here. Set module 2 complete when I click the continue button. So we're good to go on module 3 or 2. Module 3, we're going to use this continue button here. I can make it look prettier by using this one. Okay. So we've got this continue button that's hidden, and the continue button is not going to be visible until I click the yes button. So what I want to do is I want to add a trigger on here. We can do two things. Let's go ahead and set adjust variable, and we're going to make sure that module 3 is set to complete. That's true when the user clicks the button. And let's go ahead and add a trigger. So add a trigger here. What do I want to do? I want to jump to slide, and we'll come back to our menu slide. And when user clicks the button, we hit OK. So they'll go through this, and they'll go to the menu slide. From the no risk, it's the same thing. No risk, we can mark the module complete. So we're jumping back to the menu slide, but let's go ahead and add a trigger here. We want to adjust variable module 3 complete is equal to true when user clicks the continue button. And let's just go ahead and make sure we're setting it true and then jumping to the slide. Otherwise, if we jump to the slide, it may not mark it true. Let's make sure we did that the same way here. Wager slide, we want to jump true and then jump. Okay, so if we preview this entire project, let me save this first. If we preview the entire project, we should go through 1, 2, 3. We come back here. What happens? Let's click into the slide. When we come back here, these should all be unlocked. And then I believe we have the complete layer here. But the complete layer we're going to show when module 3 complete is equal to true. So we're going to show it when all of these, but these can only be equal to true in sequence. Now, if you were going out of sequence, you'd have to account for that, but we're just going to keep it simple. So once these are all done, when I come back here, I should be back on the slide with that complete is true, and I should see this complete layer. So let's go ahead and click through these things real quick. We're going to preview the entire project. Another good reason why having that set variables option is going to work, and we're going to look at that in the next tutorial. So let's go ahead, add a name, Tom, click an avatar. That looks good. Tom's loaded up here. This isn't done yet. Nothing here. We're going to work on this. And we're going to go to here. I can't go here. I'm going to click on this. I need to add a name here. Those are cleanup things. So we'll go ahead and collect our trophies. And I'm glad this is not a big course because it would be a lot of clicking around. That's why I like setting the variables. So this is done. I click here. It should be showing my trophies, but we haven't put that in there yet. Click on next, and now I'm back here. This is unlocked, so we're going to come here. I need to set this to, I have 5 seconds. Start, and I'm going to press this here. I got my different timers. Oh, almost hit 29. Okay, so I got 28. Good job. I'm going to collect my trophy. Hit continue. Go to module 3 now. Module 2 was unlocked. Module 3 did not get unlocked, right? So let's figure out what's going on there. So let's look at what we did. We must not have done that right. So we're going to module 2. Oh, we need to set the trigger on here. So let's go ahead. We're going to jump to these buttons here, right? So we're going to set these here. So this needs to be set to normal. And when were we setting those to normal? We were changing the state of that button to normal when timeline completes if module 1 is complete. Then we're going to set this to normal if module 2 is equal to complete. So let's figure out why that's not being done. So this is where those variable references come in. And this looks like it's completed. I'm going to move this up here so we can see it. And let's go ahead and see to make sure this is being set to complete. We'll go through here. Let's click on here. Show this. Come here. We end up at great job. And on the continue button, see, this is an example of the variable not working because the trigger order. So I was jumping before I could set the variable true. So we're going to change this and move it up. So this is good troubleshooting. And now we can see that it's going to work because it's going to move up. It's going to change it to true first, and then it's going to jump. What was happening was it was jumping before it could change it. All right, let's go ahead and preview this project again. Again, good thing it's not more than a couple of slides because I'd hate to have to go through the course the entire time. Okay, so add a name, select a character, go through here. Here's my character. I can see module 2 is false. We're going to click in here. We're going to click, and I'm going to click and collect. This is the click and collect technique. All right, and we're done. Go here. Module 2 is now unlocked. Click in here. I've got my 5 seconds, right? So I'm going to see if I can break my record of 29. All right, look at that. 31 clicks. See if you can beat that. All right, so we got 31 clicks. Continue. Module 3 is open. I can go to module 3. I've got 5 trophies. Do I want to wager those? So if I hit no, that's going to take me to the 1 layer. I'm going to say yes, and it's going to reset this, and then it's going to compare it. Oh, I lost. So I didn't lose. I didn't win. I'm sad. I got the gray trophy and no trophies. And I'm going to continue, and I should see that everything's done. Now I could jump to here to check out my dashboard or whatever, but we kind of get the sense of how everything moved through there. So let's go ahead and build out our dashboard because that's how we want to report things through the course. And that's actually pretty easy. A lot of it's been pre-built for you. So let's go ahead and save this here. And I'm going to clean up some stuff while we're in here. So what was that? One of the slides, we had the starting layers, right? Personalized work. We come in here. We can start to hide all these things because we know they're working. So I'm going to come over here and hide all these text boxes that we don't want visible, the avatar text box, right? So we've got all that stuff. So that's done here. We're going to come in here. Let's look at this. And we can hide all these boxes we don't need to show. So those are cleaned up. I think at the beginning slide, we want to insert name, right? So insert a reference. I'm going to show you another tip that I use. If I go to insert reference here, if you right click, you can put that on your quick access toolbar, which I have right here. So if I hit the Alt key, I can see that's number 3. So this is a quicker way to me. If I hit Alt 3, that just opens up the box because I have it up here. So I right click on here, add it to the quick access toolbar. Well, I add it right here. So it's up here. If I hit Alt, oops, well, don't want to hit Alt there, but if I hit Alt, you can see 3 is where my reference is. So I hit Alt 3 and that'll punch it in there. So let's go ahead and do that. So Alt 3, I'm going to insert my name, hit OK, and hello, whoever you are, and welcome to Module 1. Okay, so we're good to go there. That looks good. So we're just cleaning up these little things. So we're going to come to this one. Same thing, hello, Alt 3, and insert name. And that looked good. Right, if there was anything on here, name, blah, blah, blah. That looks good. So let's come in here. Alt 3, that's all good here. Oops. We have 5 seconds. Name, count clicks. Collect my trophy. Am I getting something for the trophy here? Add. When I click on this, I'm adding one to the trophy. Yep. So that all looks good. That's making it complete. It's disabled after I click on it. Introduction. I have my name. Everything looks good on there. Here's my name. You know, all this type of gibberish you could probably get rid of if you don't want it. So I would move, I would move these things off the screen, unless you have to show them, right? We'll just move the dial and the, where's the slider at here? We'll move the slider off screen, and then the timer should be moved off screen as well. And then this way, or actually let's put the dial on there because the dial looks nice, right? So we'll make it really big dial. We can apply different color schemes to it. I think there's a format here. Let's just, that's a little too bright. We'll just do dark, and we'll do a lighter pin. Okay, so that's our dial. It looks really good. Got our name. Great job. Name, introduction, name. All right, so let me hit save while we're going through here, and we're just doing all this cleanup work on here, right? So random number variables here. You currently have blank trophies, so we've got that. We've got that works. No risk. Too bad. Name. All right, and this is going to jump back. So everything works fine. All right, so what we want to do here is let's look at our suitcase. In our suitcase, we want to add our name here. So let's go ahead, Alt 3, name. We've got this rectangle with the states on it. We're going to just come over here. Actually, we're going to cheat and come over here and collect this badge here with everything on it. Control C. And we're going to come over here to our suitcase. And let's just get rid of all this junk. Control V. And let's move it over. I'm not going to size anything. We'll just keep it the way it is, and it fits. Okay. So now it's easy to set our triggers, right? So let's set the first. Save this. Let's go ahead. We're recording the numbers of clicks, and we want to just display that here. So we just have to do, what's that? Control T, Alt 3, clicks, hit OK, and we can just put it here. It's about 1 to 2 characters, so this is going to be fine. We can make this darker here. And we're going to do how many trophies have you collected. So same thing. We're going to do Control T, Alt 3, trophies. And we have our trophy here. And again, it's give or take a few characters. You can always nudge that over. And then Risktaker, we've got different. You're a risk taker or you're not a risk taker, right? So we need to set that. And then we can set this trigger as well. So let's go ahead and do that. So let's go ahead and change the state of our badge, right? Which was that called? That's the badge avatar. to Maria when timeline starts and of the slide on the condition that Maria is equal to, or avatar is equal to, the value of Maria. All right. And that's done, so the badge should be set. We're going to copy this and paste it, and we're going to make this John equal to John. All right, so we know the badge is set. We can display our trophies, right? We can display these things. This text is kind of available to you as you complete modules, right? And so let's go ahead, and I think these are hidden by default, so you can see I set them up to be hidden. So what we want to do is, this is count clicks. We want this text to be visible when that module 2 is complete. So let's go ahead and add a trigger, change the state of this text, click award to normal when slide timeline starts, so the slide timeline, and timeline starts on the condition that variable module, is that module, that must be module 2. I think that was module 2. Module 2 is equal to the value of true. Okay. And so this one, we'll just say, we'll show this to you after the first module. So we're basically going to copy this trigger, right? Where is it? Change the state of click award. So we're just going to copy this trigger, and we're going to paste it, and we're going to say, change the state of trophy award to normal when timeline starts of the slide when that module 1 is equal to true. Okay. By default, we're going to say Risktaker is set to no risk, and you have to change that. So we're going to set this up here. Let's go to this slide here. This is 3. Are you a risk taker? We'll say no risk. You're not a risk taker. Let's go to wager. If you click on this, we're going to say you're not a risk taker. So we're going to create a variable. Are you a risk taker or not a risk taker? So we're going to say risk taker, and we'll set it initially to false, and we'll just work off the assumption that you're not a risk taker. And so risk taker is always going to be false, right? When you click on the yes button, we actually want to set the risk taker variable to true, because even if you don't win, we still want risk taker to be true. So and we could actually, why don't we set that on the continue button, just because it doesn't really matter where it's at, but then it's one less variable that you have to look, one less trigger you have to look for on that particular button. So let's go ahead and add that here. What do we want to do? We want to adjust variable. Which variable? Risk taker. Where is it? Right here. And we want to make it true when the user clicks the button. All right, so, and again, make sure we're not jumping away. So we're setting these values and then we're jumping. Okay, so now what we want to do is come back to our suitcase, and we're going to set risk taker, set adjust variable. What do we want to do? We want to change the state. Wait, let me make sure I'm not clicking on the wrong spots here. So this has no states. This is the state. So we're going to change the badge here. So we're going to change this here. So we're going to say change the state of risk taker. Where is that? Risk hex. Yeah. Change the state of risk hex to no risk when the timeline starts on the condition that variable risk taker is equal to the value of false. All right, and we're going to have another copy this, and we're going to paste this, and we're going to change this to risk taker when it's equal to true, and you're going to be a risk taker. All right, so this is kind of it, I believe, and we could change these variables in here, but let's go ahead, save this, and let's preview the entire course and see what we have. You probably have a little bit of tweaking to do, but that's okay. So let's preview the entire project, and we click, type in a name. Oh, let me type in a real name, Tom Kuhlman, and I'll select an avatar. There it is. Go through here. Hey Tom, great job. I'm going to go through the module right now. I'm not a risk taker. I haven't collected anything, right? But there's my avatar. So I'm going to go ahead and go through my module and collect some trophies here. So I've collected a few trophies. When I click in here, you can see it's tracking the trophies that I collected, right? So we just click on here. I want to get as many trophies as I can. And I'm done. I can see I've got 5 trophies collected. I'm still not a risk taker. And hit no. Go to the next module. See if I can beat 31. Oh, I wasn't paying attention. All right, let's see here. 27. All right, still not bad. Hit continue. So if I check my suitcase, I've got 6 trophies. My click count was 27. I'm still not a risk taker. But you can see now how you can use all these values that you have throughout your course. And again, these are simple activities, but it just shows you how they all kind of work together. And then when I close this out, we're going to go to this last module. I am a risk taker. I've got 6 trophies. Let's see what happens. Oh, I lost everything. That's what happens. The house always wins. So I got nothing. So I'm going to continue. If I look at my thing, I'm at least a risk taker. So yes, I am. So I get rewarded for that. And I can see everything I have. I'm done. I want to exit the course. Now on this demo here, so everything's working the way we want it to work. If you actually look in here, and you look at that in more detail. When we come here, you'll notice on this slide, I have a few other variables, and I did that so when you click on the character, you can see there's different states. So once you're complete, I change the state of the character. But that's easy enough to do, so you can figure that one out on your own. So that's basically it, going through the module. The one thing we're going to do in the next tutorial is I always like to create these set variable screens. So then this way I don't have to go through the entire course. I can access this, adjust my variables, and then test things in the course. So I can already set modules, complete or risk taker or trophies. So I can set all that stuff without actually having to go through the entire course like we were doing in the tutorial. So that's the next tutorial. Otherwise, you're done. I would say, I know it's long going through all of them, but it's a great way to learn to work with variables. And you have some simple gamified concepts in there, and then you can play around with those. And if you have any questions, just jump in the community and ask, and there's always somebody there to help you out.